Have you ever had everything going fine, yet felt nothing inside? Have you ever noticed days passing by, but felt like you weren't really inside them? If that sounds familiar, this story is for you. Because sometimes the deepest emptiness begins when everything looks okay and the same. Daniel lived in a big city. Just an ordinary man with an ordinary life. He had a good job, his own place, no major problems. But lately, nothing really touched him. Every morning he opened his eyes and stared at the ceiling for a few seconds. No thoughts. No feelings. Then he got up and went to the kitchen. The sound of the coffee machine filled the room. Steam rose into the air. He held the mug in his hands. He felt the warmth, but inside he still felt cold. He took the subway to work, staring out the window. Stations passed. People got on and off. By the end of the day, he barely remembered the ride. At work, everyone liked Daniel. Calm, reliable, problem solver. But in his own life, he felt like an observer. One evening, instead of going straight home, he walked into a movie theater. He hadn't planned it. He just didn't feel ready to arrive anywhere yet. The movie started. People in the theater laughed, cried, got emotional. Daniel watched. He wasn't bored, but he didn't feel anything. There was an emotional scene on screen. He waited for his chest to tighten, for his throat to close up. Nothing came. And for the first time, he realized something clearly. He wasn't unhappy. He was feeling empty. When the movie ended, a light rain was falling. He didn't have an umbrella. He pulled up the collar of his jacket and started walking. Wet pavement reflected the city lights. He wasn't in a rush. Eventually, he went down into the subway. Across from him, an older man stood quietly. Gray hair, shoulders slightly slumped. The man was looking out the window. Daniel glanced at him. Something felt familiar, not in the face, but in the posture, the stillness, the distant look in his eyes. It was as if the quiet inside Daniel had simply grown older. Will I look like that one day? A few days later, a speaker at a seminar pulled out a small card. It said, "When was the last time you truly felt your life?" The room grew quiet. Most of us aren't living our lives. We're managing them. Daniel held that card for a long moment. He didn't have an answer. But for the first time, he had the question. That evening, he started cooking. Vegetables sizzling, steam rising. He paused. He listened. He breathed in the scent. He sat at the table, took a bite, and realized he could taste it. It was a small moment, but it was real.
The next day, he didn't reach for his phone. He walked a little slower. He heard his own footsteps, felt the air on his face. His life was still the same, but for the first time in a long while, he was inside it. That night, he didn't turn on the TV. He stood by the window. City lights reflected softly on the glass. And for the first time, in a long time, he felt something simple and clear. I'm here. Daniel's life didn't change overnight, but Daniel did. Because sometimes we don't get lost all at once. We drift away. Slowly. And coming back, it doesn't take big decisions. It starts with small moments of awareness. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you truly felt your life? If this felt familiar, subscribe and stay for more stories like this, because sometimes a story brings you back to yourself.